everybody, and welcome to Juniper GraceTube number 14. Here is a little song for you. Well, actually, it was my stepdad's birthday the other day, about 2 days ago, and this is a song I sang for him for his birthday at his party. He turned 70 this year, the big 7-0. And so we had a wonderful party, and I sang him a song, and here is a little Beatles ditty for you. I'll kiss you tomorrow. I'll miss you. Remember, I'll always be true. And then while I'm away, I'll write home every day, and I'll send all my loving to you. I'll pretend that I'm kissing the lips I am missing, and hope that my dreams will come true. And then while I'm away, I'll write home every day, and I'll send all my loving to you. All my loving I will send to you. All my loving, darling, I'll be true. All my loving, all my loving, all my loving, I will send to you. Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you. Always be true. And then while I'm away, I'll write home every day, and I'll send all my loving to you. There we go. Oh, it wasn't so bad. Of course not. Okay, well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Juniper GraceTube number 14. I already said that, but I'm going to say it again. 14. Almost made it to 15. Double awesome. I'm so excited. Isn't that great, guys? Look, here we are. It's so wonderful. I have lots of exciting things to talk about this week, as usual. And yes, it's summer, and yes, I'm wearing a hoodie. I just felt like wearing a hoodie. Sometimes it's nice. It's my husband's. Cozy. And I don't know if you noticed, but I straightened my hair. Look at that. Isn't it amazing? The only problem is when I straighten my hair, all I want to do is touch it. Touch. Just really fun. Yes, I do own a straightener. Yes, it is possible for me to straighten my hair. So today I did. Okay. Oh yes, okay. So do you have, look, I'm going to remember, your delicious beverage? Do you have some knitting with you? I'm not going to knit because I can't talk with my hands and knit at the same time. But do you have your knitting? Do you have your delicious beverage? Do you know who I am? I am Juniper Grace. You can find me as Juniper Grace on Instagram. You can find me as Juniper Grace on Ravelry. You can find our group on Ravelry as JuniperGraceTube. And on Twitter, you can find me as GRaceFace. G-E-E Raceface. It's always been that way. I'm so glad you're here. If you are new, welcome to the wonderful world of Junipers. And if you are returning, oh, I love you. Mwah. Thanks for coming back. I'm really glad. We have lots of fun things to talk about today. And I'm going to look at my notes so I remember. Okay, so I sang my song. Oh, yes. Okay. So I didn't podcast last week. I'm sorry. I got sucked into the Husband Vacation Vortex. Well, actually, I think it's been 2 weeks since I podcasted. And that's, I don't know if you've ever heard that before, but this is a new phrase I'm going to coin right now, and it's called the Husband Vacation Vortex. And it doesn't mean a vacation from my husband. It means that all of a sudden, my amazing husband, who has been working super, super hard, not only doing work, but he's also been doing the Chartered Accountant School of Business, so his CASB studies, he had a week off. He finished an exam and then got a whole week off, and I took a week off. It was amazing. I took a week off with him. It was really, really fun. We found a new bed, because we've been sleeping on a double for 2 years almost now. And we went out and we bought a memory foam queen bed. Oh, the best sleeps of life. We did that. We went for some walks. We went out for dinner. We were lazy around the house in our pajamas together. It was really, really fun. We haven't had a week off together in probably the entire 2 years of marriage, except for our honeymoon. We just haven't taken vacation to have anything. So I took a vacation with him. And then I guess I did get a bit of a vacation from the husband. He went away to work on more CASB stuff. He went to Edmonton for a week. So remember how I went to Edmonton for about 2 weeks at the beginning of June? He went away for a week to, it's called UFE prep. And UFE is the UFE. It's the big, huge exam that they write to become a chartered accountant. That's what all of this noise and business with doing work and school and together at the same time and crazy times is for. Ultimately, it's for the UFE. It's kind of like when a lawyer sits the bar, the chartered accountant sits the UFE, and it's a 3-day long exam, and it's crazy. And so he was sent by his firm to Edmonton for a week to do something called UFE prep, where they just talk about, like, okay, this is what the exam's going to be like. They get people that have passed it from previous years to come in and talk about it. Yeah, it's pretty intense. He does some practice exams himself that week, and he was gone for a week, and so I was crafty little wife. I decided that, well, literally crafty and crafty. Pause for effect. That was pretty funny. So anyways, I decided that while he was gone, I was going to overhaul our entire place, because we live in a basement suite. And so right now, where I'm sitting is our kitchen. We have, you can see the fridge, and you can see our little China Hutch cabinet thing behind me with our wonderful wall of postcards here. And if you go that way, you get to kind of the main room. And we have a big main room that has to house my craft supplies and our living room together, basically. It's big. Luckily we have really high ceilings. We live in a really old house, a heritage home actually, that was built in 1911. But our amazing landlord has dug down, and so we have really high ceilings. And so for a basement suite, it's pretty beautiful, and there's lots of sunlight in the kitchen. Actually, I had to close the blind to be able to not have a huge sunspot. There's still kind of a sunspot up there, but I figured you'd kind of like that. It's like a vignette or whatever. It's like I artfully have put an effect on the photo, on the film. But yeah, so we have our living room, my kind of crafty area, and boy, I tell you, I'm a very crafty person. It's in fact kind of what I do for my living. So there's a lot of craft supplies. Then we have our bedroom, then we have a bathroom, and we have a little closet that's supposed to be like a storage closet, but it's Joel's office. We joke that it's Joel's cave because our last name is Cave. It's his cave. Anyways, it's his man cave. It's where all the Canucks stuff is hung up on the walls and the ceiling and everything. And anyways, and so working full time and kind of being a little, I feel like in the 2 years that we've lived in this place, I've never truly really settled in, and I've never truly organized stuff the way that I want it to be organized. And it's kind of like you walk that fine line. Like, honestly, my stuff looked like we lived in a yarn store for a little while. And as much fun as that might be, it's not very good when you have to share the space with more people. And, so I went on a blitz. I literally emptied out the whole corner. I took all the furniture out. I took everything, all my craft supplies out, rearranged until I found something that I liked. But it was crazy, I tell you, because I just didn't have a vision. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I wanted my space to look like. So my best friend, my amazing darling Jess, who is my best friend, was like, Grace, you need a vision. you have to figure it out. And so I'm just going to get out my iPad here. So we went to good old Pinterest, and I found on Pinterest one of the people that I went to high school with. She is an amazing artist. She's always been very inspirational to me. Her name is Justine Taylor. And she had, actually all of her boards are really fantastic, but she has this one that's called Creative Space. Now I'm going to hold it up and hopefully you can kind of get a glimpse. But you see, like, with the books and the tables and desks and different things, windows, look at that. The art on the wall, that was probably my main source of inspiration, was her Pinterest board. So I went through and I really realized what I wanted was just a really clean look. Like, I need to have all those supplies, that they can be organized better. And so I went to IKEA. Earlier, a while ago, I went to IKEA and bought a bunch of boxes. I went to Home Depot and bought some more storage. I went to Michael's and bought some more storage. I kind of shopped around. I went to Target and bought more storage. Or not just storage, but like some shelves and some different, different ways to creatively store everything that I have, so that it doesn't look like utter mayhem. And here, I can show you a picture of it. I'm not going to turn the camera only because it's not well lit over that way, and so it'd be really awkward. But I can show you a little bit of what my living room now looks like. Okay, so keep in mind, in the big empty wall space, there will be, it's a big flash of light, there will be art on the wall there. But see, I've got my desk floating kind of with a chair, and then I've got all the storage and stuff, and that's just my crafty area. But that was a week-long project. Like, it was intense because I just pulled everything out, and then I decided, you know what, I have to get ruthless. We took some trips to the thrift store. Because I got a new bigger bed, I let go of a lot of old bedding to my mom, because my stepdad, like, there's a double in the extra bedroom. And what else? Yeah, and then, so that was like the vortex. I got pulled into that, but in the midst of that, I did manage to get a little bit of knitting all in. But I'll talk about that in a little bit. So just to do some housekeeping and some shout outs and thank yous, I have received some really amazing mail. I got 3 things. I got a postcard from Marlies, who lives in Austria. She's actually in my Camp Aloha friend's bunkhouse. And this is a postcard from Vienna of all kinds of different coffee houses. Does she know me or what? It's so neat. She just talks a little bit about how they have an incredible coffee culture out there, which, I want to go visit so I can go see it. And another one of my bunkhouse girls from Camp Aloha friends, Anizette, she sent me a postcard from where she grew up. And to be honest, I don't know what country that is. I feel like it might be France. Bourdon? Yeah, I don't know actually exactly. So if you guys know, you can totally tell me. Or Annie, you can pipe up. She just said, it's in Milio Island? Côte de Grâce. Yeah, probably. I don't know. But it's beautiful. Doesn't that just look magical? That's the thing I love about postcards. It feels like you get a little snippet of what a vacation would be like, but very tiny snippet. And then Lisbeth sent me the cutest little card with a little grandma knitting and her hubby next to her, and that's gonna be me and Joel. So she sent me a wonderful letter, so I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to write her back. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And then you too, if you would like to get in on the postcard train, I've got my little wall back here, but I think I'm going to need another or a bigger thing. It used to actually, if you've watched back episodes or if you're brand new, I'll give you a little back update. This used to be my freezer here, not a hutch. And so when my freezer was here, what I would do is I'd pile it full of everything that I was going to talk about on the podcast, but the wall behind it was completely empty. And someone had the genius idea that I should get people that watch JuniperGraceTube to send in postcards so that we could have, fun filling up the wall, but then also just seeing where all the different junipers are from around the world, or even just next door. I have somebody that sent me a message just earlier from White Rock, BC, which is like a skip and a hop on the ferry over from where I am. She's like, West Coast, Lower Mainland represent, and I think that's so cool. That makes me really happy. I think it's really neat to see who watches the podcast and where you're from, and so if you want to get in on that, please feel free. I'm gonna have to get another board because that was my solution when the hutch came in, But I was also thinking, I just realized that you guys get to kind of see a glimmer of it on the podcast, but you don't get to really see them all up close. So I might do a gallery where I take a picture of each one and say who it's from, and just have a little, like, maybe on Ravelry or maybe on Instagram, I can take a picture of each one of the postcards and I can just have a hashtag for that. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Hashtag, like, Juniper postcard wall. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I haven't figured it out yet, but I gotta write that down so I don't forget. Instagram. Postcard gallery. Yeah, that's a great idea, because that way then you can get a chance to take a look at it. And honestly, Instagram is my absolute favorite medium for sharing just snippets of your daily life. If you follow me on Instagram, sometimes I have little giveaways that I do solely on Instagram, or lately I've been doing a bit of an interactive kind of fun thing on Instagram with the podcast. Speaking of which, I was going to do that for something, so I better get that set up real quick. Okay, so anyways, moving on to the next topic while I get ready here. So I did my adventures. I got my new bed. And I got new bedding from Target. I don't know why, because I know Target isn't like the highest quality of life or anything like that, but it is so trendy and cheerful, and it's really not difficult to find a really fun type of thing like bedding. Sheets and things are just so cute at Target. Like, it's ridiculous. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick picture here. Okay, I have a new interactive thing, but I won't tell you about it just yet. But I will fill you in just a moment. I just had to take a quick picture of it. I'm such a Captain Distracto podcaster. Sorry, guys. Hope you still love me. I think you do if you're still here. Okay, so that moves me on to, I said that we had a few things that I managed to get knit, right? And, well, like, during the Husband Vortex thing, we had some kind of quiet, lazy days, and during the quiet, lazy days, I kind of, while I was cleaning, or when I was thinking about cleaning, I've always kind of had this in the back of my mind that I need to round up all the works in progress that I have, because honestly, I don't know where all my needles are. Have you ever had that, where you kind of, like, leading up to leaving the bank, I kind of used to stress knit, and so I would, like, cast a project on, but then as soon as it kind of got, like, it was taking a long time, or something happened where it didn't work out perfectly, or I don't know, I would kind of discard it and just cast on another project. Like, I had just cast on itis. All I wanted to do is just cast on a new project, because I don't know why, it just felt so good to kind of start something new. There was potential and possibility, and I felt stuck in what I was doing and stuck in where I was, and so I thought, if I could just start something new, it'll make me feel better. But then you end up with like 50 works in progress. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration. Not 50, but oh my gosh, quite a lot. So while I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, what have I had on the needles for a long time that I just need to finish? And I've talked about this a little bit, about how I want to finish some things, especially leading up to going to Maine in September for the Knitting Pipeline Fall Maine Retreat, where we go to Maine and we knit, and this year Susan B. Anderson's going to be there. I'm a little bit of a fangirl. I love Susan B. Anderson. Who, by the way, has an amazing Instagram feed. It is so much fun to see what she's up to. She takes pictures of her runs. She takes pictures of projects she's working on, or yarn she spins. It's pretty darn cool. Okay, what was I got totally derailed. Oh yeah, okay, so what I've been working on. So, at the last, oh no, don't drop that. At the last Maine retreat, I cast on a Magic Cake Ruffle Shawl by Paula Emmons Feasley. Look at that. Okay, you might be thinking, now Grace, where is the ruffle? Okay, all right, I confess, I'm not much of a ruffle kind of person. I'm just not a real ruffly, like, it's just not really who I am. I do want to knit one someday just to kind of experience it, but most likely I would knit it and then give it to my mom. Just, I don't know, or maybe I'll change my tune, because I never used to like gold, and now that's like my favorite kind of jewelry. Anyways, the idea is that you take little bits of leftover sock yarn, pretty much. This is all sock yarn. You know, whatever's left over from a shawl that you've knit or whatever. And the idea is that you can use your leftovers to create another shawl. I've told this story before, but I'm kind of like a little bit, what's the, anal retentive? I don't like that word. It kind of sounds gross, but it's like I'm very to the T when I have an expensive cake of yarn, ball of yarn or whatever. I will try to use every last little bit that I possibly can. Or who was it? My friend Julie, Inky077, she was talking about this just today. She texted me, she's saying that she played yarn chicken. Have you ever heard that phrase before? Where it's like, it's where you're, where you know you don't have a lot of yarn, but you want to use up every last little bit of it. So you just try to knit as absolutely much as you can. You end up with like a foot of yarn left, you know, or like hardly any. Or sometimes it goes wrong and then you have to rip out and, you know, do your cast off a little bit or bind off a little earlier. But anyways, I didn't have any little bits of yarn. And when last year for the Maine retreat, in the notes it had said like bring leftover bits of sock yarn, and I didn't have anything. I had nothing. At that point I wasn't even knitting socks, so I just didn't have anything left over. So I was like, okay, well, maybe what I'll do is I'll just buy a skein of yarn. So I bought a skein of Sweet Georgia yarn. It's this bright blue here. It's the saltwater colorway, and it's her Tough Love sock yarn. I just bought a skein and brought it with me, and I said, okay, well, I'll just split that up and trade people, like, because I don't have any. Little did I know that there were going to be more than enough, like, enough sock yarn to make many magic cakes. Anyways, and it was my birthday, and so my table let me make the magic cake, because there was already Angie was already knitting a magic cake ruffle shawl. And anyways, so we had fun and we put together the colors, and this is actually not quite everything that we put together. I had to edit a couple colors out, but look guys, isn't that beautiful? And then I saw that Pat B Knitting on Ravelry and Instagram, she did a ribbed edging, and I thought that's genius, because, well, you know, that's, and I'm sure Paula won't mind at all. She edits patterns all the time, but, you know, like, I'm not really big in ruffles, but, you know, a ribbed edge would be great. So this, and then I decided to call it my Molly Weasley shawl, because it just reminds me of Molly Weasley, you know, like with the patchwork kind of idea, and I got a little carried away, and so it's quite big. But I love big shawls, you know, like this is going to be my hanging around the house, when I'm knitting and I feel chilly, or just sitting somewhere, or, you know, or to be honest, I actually really like how it came out. So I might actually wear it around about and stuff. I thought it was going to be too bright and colorful and crazy, but yeah, like I could wear it even like, you know, like a big, not in summertime, but a big shawl. Like, isn't that great? I gotta wear it to the retreat in September. I still have to block it so the edge is a little floppy, but isn't it pretty? Do you guys like it? I love this thing. If you have not made a magic cake ruffle shawl, I recommend going for it. It's a really basic, basic but so clever in its simplicity, you know, where it kind of gives you tips and tricks on what to do with a solid color versus what to do with a variegated color, ways to kind of mix it up. So it's actually quite textured, if you can kind of, if I put it up close, see how there's some parts where it's stockinette, some parts where it's garter stitch, and then, yeah. And I found that as I was going, I didn't quite know when I was creating the ball what it was going to look like. I definitely edited, like this hot pink was going to be further up, and then the edge was going to be this color, but then there's way not enough and way more of this, and so I ended up edging it with the pink. So I kind of, you know, as I was going, I edited out a few colors and changed the order, and say I knit something in stockinette and I didn't like it, I kind of went back and I changed it to garter stitch, and it's just a really fun project. I worked on it on the plane all the way home from Maine. So yeah. Okay, I think I've talked about it enough, hey? But I'm so happy. It just turned out so well. And it's like, it's huge, but perfect. Because I really like big things. Because I'm a curvy lady. And so bigger stuff is kind of nice. Because it, you know, nice. It's big. I feel cozy. My mom was looking at that, and she's like, that is beautiful. And I was like, I'm keeping this. I always end up giving away all of my knitwear. So nope, keeping this. It's not going anywhere. But yeah, so, and Paula actually has a new pattern out. Let me pull up my iPad. It's called Sister Bay. She just released it through Quince & Company. It is knit with the Quince & Company Chickadee yarn, which is a sport weight, and it uses 2 different colors. And let's see if I can get which picture do I like the best of this? It's another kind of, what are those called? Crescent shawl, sort of, like where it's kind of curved. But, oh, yeah, of course. Don't hit the home button when you're trying to show people things. It's not the greatest picture, I'm sorry, or the greatest, the light is shining on it. But you see how there's 2 different colors? And you can't quite see, but the edge is just really creative and kind of a geometric, oh gosh, I don't know how to describe it. This is why I don't have an audio podcast. It's better that I can show you things. But isn't that just beautiful? And it looks, I think it's great. I'm not sure what colors I would want to use. I have yarn. I actually have, in my organizationalness, I have my Quince & Company bin. Can you tell what my favorite yarn is? It's Quince & Company. I have some yarn that I got from the retreat that I would really love to use up. Like, this segues into the next thing. But I would really like to be able to use up the yarn that I got at the last retreat before I go to the new retreat. Because when I was doing my cleaning, I had a Yarnapalooza. Because you know how sometimes when you're deep cleaning things get way worse before they get better, right? So that's part of why I waited till my husband was gone, just because I knew it was going to be utter mayhem, and it was going to take me longer than just one day while he's away at work to be able to revamp the whole living room. So once I had, like, the first thing is I gutted everything and I cleared off all the shelves so that I could just create the skeleton of what the place was going to look like, right? I wanted to figure out where to put the shelves, where I would like them. And then once you have the shelves in place, everything kind of falls in. You just put your bins in different places, you know, whatever, organize baskets, bins, stuff. That's when it all kind of falls back into place. So then it kind of hit me. I'm like, you know what I really need to do? I need to deal with all of the yarn I have. I need to organize it. I need to kind of take an inventory. So Mom came over and she actually helped me. She sat in the chair and wrote everything down that I dictated to her, all of my inventory. Because I do craft fair booths and stuff. So arguably a good chunk of my stash is supplies for my craft booth. But I have a lot of yarn. And I also have a lot of Quince & Company yarn because, well, there we go. I got it labeled. And my mom did the labels. Look, isn't that just perfect grade 1 teacher writing? Quince. It's my Quince bin. So at the retreat, okay, so anyways, I decided, upon looking at the vast collection that I have accrued, I decided, oh dear goodness, I really need to kind of cut things down a little bit, or at least just use what I have. You know what? It's this double-edged sword where you want to build your stash and you want to have an amazing stash, but at what point do you stop building and start using? You know what I mean? Like, I have such a great stash, but I haven't been using it. So it's just sitting there, and then I'm like, oh, I don't really like this color anymore. Or, oh, yeah, I have not knit this project that I've wanted to knit for like 10 years. Okay, it's not that bad. But I did find some yarn that's probably almost 10 years old. but it's really pretty. It's Patton's soy stripes. I think it's soy wool stripes, where the yarn is actually like a combination of wool and soy fiber. Really cool. It's kind of pink, and I made mittens out of it one time, and then I started collecting a bunch of it because I really liked it. Anyways, okay, so some of the yarn that I got on the retreat in Maine. I mean, I think I showed a lot of the stash in the earlier episodes of Juniper Grace Tube. So if you go back to like the poorly lit first and second episodes before I started, before I got it all down, you will find the show off of the stash, but I'll still show you. So I've got Quince & Company Chickadee in Poppy, which is the gift that they gave us for being a part of the retreat. They gave us some Quince & Company. And I have 4 skeins of that. And then I have 3 skeins of, I guess when we went to Saco River Dye Works, I guess if the color doesn't come out quite right, which I didn't realize, they sold it kind of as like a second or whatever with no ball band or anything. And so this is Chickadee, and I believe it's Storm, but to me it looks perfect. I don't know. Although I guess it makes sense that they're that perfectionist, because there's tons of times where I've run out of yarn that I've needed from Quince, not tons, but a few times. And I've ordered more of the same color, and that's kind of like, again, it's like yarn chicken, but it's like dye lot chicken. Like you don't know if the dye lot's gonna match up or not. Quince is amazing for matching up really, really well. Like their dye lots have not disappointed me as far as just, they're so spot on. And when we went to Saco River Dye Works, which is the place where they actually dye the Quince & Company yarn, I can totally understand why. Like, we met the person that's in charge of the color work, like the dyeing, and they have got it down to an exact science. It is so amazing, and so it's consistent. It's incredible. So I have those 2 colorways. I have 3 of the Storm and 4 of the Poppy, which would actually make a really beautiful sister bay. But then I kind of feel like that would give me 1 project, whereas I could get 2 projects if I kept them separate, because I have 4 skeins. Like, because I think I need like 3 skeins of one color and 2 of the other. Maybe I'll just have to get yarn for Sister Bay when I go to Maine in September. Means I can knit other things. I don't know. Then I also have this the Quince & Company Tern in the kelp colorway. So it's like honey, but because Tern is a mix of silk and wool, it takes dye differently, and so they called it kelp. It's actually showing up really green, but it's more like mustardy in real life. It's really pretty. And I'm gonna make the grasshopper wrap from the Quince & Company scarves 2012 or 13, probably 12. But I've been wanting to knit that, and that was what I bought with my birthday money from my husband when I got to Saco River Dye Works. So I've got to knit those things. Well, I want to knit those things before the retreat. We'll see if we do. I don't know. And then I have lots of other. I have some sparrow that's going to become a Jane Richmond scarf. It's so pretty. It's just the juniper colorway, guys. It's called Juniper. It's like a kind of like a foresty green. I thought that was fitting. Juniper Grace, knitting with the juniper colorway. Okay, so anyways, speaking of going to the Maine retreat, it's getting close. Like, it is really, really getting close. I can't believe how close it is. September 21st. I have 2 months, literally 2 months today, to prepare myself. And there are so many things that I want to do. I want to knit a cowichan sweater with my friend Julie. We both want to knit cowichan sweaters. I have the yarn to spin and knit one. Like the wool, sorry, to spin and knit one. I want to knit down the stash that I got from the last retreat. So much knitting. So little time. I'm sure you're used to that. So another thing that I managed to get at the retreat, which again I've shown, but I'm going to show again, is this bright blue, absolutely gorgeous tonal Aggie Johnson Fiberworks, gifted to me by Barb, who for my birthday. She dyes the wool, and it is so beautiful. So it is, where does it, okay, 75% wool, 25% nylon. Oh, it doesn't say the yardage. I'm guessing probably around 410 yards. Here we go. We've got 4 ounces, 112 grams, approximately 410 yards is what I have here. And I don't know what to knit with it, but it's so freaking beautiful. I was thinking I could do a small shawl. I mean, I could do socks. Actually, I could do really beautiful socks. But anyway, so here comes the interactive part of the episode. I am going to Instagram my yarn and say, help, I have 410 yards of this beautiful yarn by Barb. What's your... Oh, here we go. Rav BLB. I believe. Is that the right? Oh no. Okay, I'm not sure. I'll have to tag you later, Barb, if you're watching. I'm sorry. To make sure it's the right person. I don't want to... my friend Barb that I want to knit. What should I make? Okay, and then I'm gonna share with you guys the suggestions that are shared with me. I'll show you. Okay, so here we go. So I took that picture while I was being Captain Distracto. You can kind of see it. It's got the label on it. And hopefully I will get some suggestions and I'll share those with you. Yeah, so I'm getting so excited. I don't even know what to pack. Does anybody know what weather is like in Maine in September, at the end of September? I think it'd probably be like a little bit chillier, or is it like warm? What do I wear? Is it going to be raining? How can you tell I live on Vancouver Island? It rains in September. I don't know. I don't know what to do. But I'm so excited. So I need your guys' help and suggestions. And maybe if you have an idea of if I should knit Sister Bay or if I should, I don't know. Okay, so speaking of, well, doing that little interactive thing, if you remember you watched the last episode in Juniper GraceTube 13, I did a little interactive Instagram postcard giveaway while we were filming, and that was really fun. I gave away some. Didn't take long to get 11 people that wanted postcards from Edmonton. So, but then with that, I decided, okay, it's not fair because you guys didn't know. It's not like, I mean, I'm filming, but it's not like you were watching while I was Instagram. You know what I mean? So I also decided to do a giveaway of 2 sets of postcards. 2 sets of 2 postcards. The first of which are from my trip to Drumheller. I decided to give away 2. I've got dinosaur postcards. And so I asked you guys on Ravelry on my little Juniper GraceTube group on Ravelry, I asked you to tell me what kind of dinosaur you would be and why. Or just what would you be, I think. Yeah, to just tell me what type of dinosaur you would be if you could be one. And I said I would draw the winner the next time I filmed. So I had 9 entries. Not bad. Not the best, but that's okay. I understand. It's a postcard. It's not that exciting. So I'm going to do random number generator because my random number generator, aka my husband, is off at school right now, working on his UFE stuff. Okay, so from 2 to 10, from minimum number 2, because I was number 1, and the maximum number 10, we have number, can you see, 4. Okay, so let's see who number 4 is. Number 4 is definitely a Stegosaurus. I've always admired his big, beautiful plates on the back. Action Mole. Action Mole! Yay! She's a really cool picture of her with a camera. That's neat. Okay, so she is the first dinosaur card winner. I'm going to write that down. Dino cards. We have Action Mole. And let's find out the next winner. So let's generate again. Oh, thinking. Number 5. So number 4 and number 5. It's random generator. I don't know. So number 5 is Blessed Mum of 3. My favorite would have to be an Apatosaurus because of Littlefoot from Land Before Time movie. Oh, I love Land Before Time. That's amazing. Okay. Excellent. So, those 2 have been, but then we also have, so congratulations. Yay, way to go. Sorry, I'm being so Captain Distracto. Okay, I didn't have enough coffee today. Maybe I had too much coffee. No. But I'm drinking water, so I stay hydrated because it's warm. Okay, so I'm just gonna choose the dinosaur postcard to send to each person. So I'll get your addresses from you. Then I had, kind of inspired by my calligraphy class that I got to take part in at the end of June, how I won entrance into an amazing calligraphy class done by Fox and Flourish, a girl that is based in Vancouver. I had to take a picture of a quote that I would like to learn how to do in calligraphy, and that was my entry to get into the class. And I won a spot with a beautiful quote from Anna Green Gables. And so then I decided I wanted to give away postcards from the studio, Tin Can Studio, which is this bowler trailer, streamline trailer here, that we did our actual workshop in. They're called Tin Can Studio, and I decided that I wanted to hear what quote somebody would want me to practice my calligraphy on the back of the postcard to send to them. And I have 2 of those. So, let's figure out who won those ones. Oh, excuse me. How much fun is that? Okay, so... Oh wait, was I looking at the right spot? Yes, I was. Oh, that's really funny. Action Mole and then Blessed Mum of 3 commented, like, one and then the other, and then the same on the Tin Can Studios post. For a second there, I thought I made a mistake. Okay, so how many people entered for this one? So 13 people entered for this one. I was number 1, so I don't count, so I'll do 2. Number 2 to number 13. And let's find out who won the first one. This is so much fun, guys. I really like doing giveaways. I hope you're not tired of them yet, because I really like them. Okay, number 12. Yes. Okay, number 12 is... number 12 is Mirio Shop. She has... Hold on. She has Sherlock and Matt Smith. That's amazing. That's so cool. Okay. So she said, we're like twins. I too took a calligraphy course lately and have been sending postcards to all my family members that live far away and some close ones too. Oh, that means she doesn't get any herself though. If I were to receive a postcard from you, I would want it to say something very simple and very true. Knitting is the saving of life. Virginia Woolf. Yes, that's amazing. That is so amazing. I really love Virginia Woolf, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. So, I don't know how to, Mirio Shop. You won the first one, and I will happily calligraphize that. Oh, I don't know. Just ignore me. Okay, and we're going to generate one more time. Let's with flourish. La 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 la. Sorry guys, if you're bored. Oh, number 5 again. Okay, apparently random number generator likes number 5. Okay, let's find out who number 5 is for this one. Number 5 is Tammy M2. And she said, you are never too old to learn something new. That is so true. Tammy M2. Love it. That's great. Okay, so I'm going to send those 2 postcards out. Who knows, I might just decide to randomly select some more people to send the cute little calligraphy postcards to because I freaking love them. They're so much fun. I am having so much fun. I love these little giveaways. Okay, so I'm going to do those. I'll send those out in the mail right away. Actually, I have a big pile of all the postcards from the previous thing that I have to send. Okay, let's see who is commenting so far. Oh, Busy Mama. She said, Pebble Beach Shawlette by Helen Stewart for the yarn. That's a good idea. I need more ideas though, guys. I need more ideas. I also want to hear your ideas on the Ravelry group because I've got other things to knit. I won't be casting on right away, so let's figure out who. Let's find a way to figure out what to do with this beautiful yarn. Okay, so we have done that, which is amazing. Okay, so let me share some more things that are on the needles. More knitting, and a sip of water. Having so much fun, guys. Are you having fun? I really hope you are. Are you getting lots of stuff knit? Done? Are you finishing unfinished projects? Okay, so I said that I was going to work on my couch and sweater, right? I just wanted to show you guys again. Oh, wow. Holy white glow, Batman. No. Okay, that's... There is not a way. Okay, can you see this yarn? This is actual yarn from the shop that sold my mom the wool for me to make my couch and sweater. I have bought a ball of the yarn, which I think I showed you guys, but I just want to show you again. I've bought this ball of yarn to see how to spin, like what thickness, like to get a comparison of what I should be going for my couch and sweater. So hopefully, I don't know if this week, but maybe next week, I'll be able to kind of tuck in and get started on just prepping my wool for my sweater. I'm really excited. Number one. Okay. Then, when I was cleaning out my place, I actually found something that I had clipped out of I think Interweave Knits. But they actually have a whole article about couch and sweaters, durable and enduring. And look at this lady. She is like probably a genuine Native American lady from Vancouver Island who knit a couch and sweater. I am getting so excited for this. Like, look, it's got pictures. That's a sweater with bears on it. Oh, and it actually has a chart for an eagle. I don't think I'll knit an eagle on mine. I think I'll knit buffalo. But isn't that neat? I thought that was cool inspiration. So that is one thing that's going to be on the needles. Some other things, I can't show you them all because I found all of my works in progress. But at least they're all organized now. Now I know where they all are. I have a bin with all of my sock yarn and my socks in progress. Don't tell anyone. Okay, then I have, sorry while I get all of my stuff from behind me. Okay, so I have been working on my July socks. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, great. I'm currently knitting Christmas in July socks. I pulled this yarn out of my mystery bag for July. Isn't that great? It is, if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen it already, but it's Under the Mistletoe by Juliana's Fibers, I think it's called. Just Juliana's. Yeah, julianasfiber.com. Let me hold this up. So this isn't actually the label. This is the label from the other one of her yarns that I'm going to show you because it's not the sparkly yarn. This label's for sparkly yarn, but it's a sock yarn. Julianasfiber.com from Canada, and I found out about her from Amy Beth of the Fat Squirrel Speaks podcast, and she was actually knitting this very yarn, and my jaw dropped. I was like, that's incredible. It's so wonderful. And I think I found it around Christmas time, but it was too late to get the yarn in time to knit for Christmas. So I ordered the yarn, and she was so amazing, and she dyed it all up and sent it away for me. And but then I put it in the mystery bag, so I haven't got to it yet. It is a total dream to knit with. So far I've really been knitting with like Opal and Regia, and they're kind of more slightly on the scratchier, like workhorsey. I don't know. They just seem like this stuff just seems too soft to be real. But it's like soft yet durable. Like I can tell that this is gonna hold up no problem. I love it. I love this yarn. So I finished this sock and I'm working on the second sock. I don't know where I put it, but I am working on it. It does exist in the realm of hashtag podcasting problems. I don't I don't know where it is, but I'm working on it. It's gonna, yeah, I'm about here ish on the 2nd. So I work from the cuff down, and I use Susan B. Anderson. I use her sock pattern. It's called, I think you just look up How I Make My Socks by Susan B. Anderson. And it's really, really easy. Like, I don't know. And as I've been knitting, part of the, like, oh, sorry. Okay, context. I don't know if you've all seen my episodes. I don't know if you have or not. If you have, I'm sorry, I'm going to tell the story again. And if you haven't, well, you'll get used to it. I'm going to repeat lots of stories anyways. So, this year I'm doing kind of like an Operation Sock Drawer, or as Mary from Boston, Woolly Bear 368, who has a podcast, the Knitting Dish podcast. I love her. Operation Sock Draw. Wait, how do you sound Boston? Operation Sock Draw. Okay, anyway, sock drawer. And I'm trying to fill it up because I wanted to conquer the sock. I wanted to learn how to knit a sock. And then I saw this cool thing on Instagram that you pick 12 balls of sock yarn, you put them in paper bags, and then each month you go and you pick randomly one of the paper bags. You don't know which yarn is inside. So sometimes you're knitting Christmas socks in July, which I just think is perfect. So yeah, I missed a couple months when things were going a little bit crazy with my previous job, but I'm back on track, and I think I'll just extend my 12 bags. I think I still have 6 bags, so yeah, I'm behind a little bit, but that's okay. I love it, totally love it. It's so much fun, and I'm starting to see a sock drawer. Like I have, how many have I made now? 4 or 5 pairs? Last month's pair I ended up giving to my best friend, so those don't live in my sock drawer. Sock drawer. I think I have 4. I think this is pair number 4. Something like that. Or 5. Well, no, 6. If I have 6 bags left, this will be pair number 6. Isn't that great? Isn't that just great? Makes me so happy. Knit socks, people. If you don't know how to knit socks, go for it. Just challenge yourself. It's totally worth it. The fun thing about socks is that they can fit in your purse. Like, they really are a really great take-along project. And if you're not working on the heel, then, it's really, really easy. You just knit for days. And now I've actually knit so many that I know how to do the heel by heart. Oh, yeah, that's where I was. Oh, man. Hashtag derailed. Thought train derailed. What I was going to say is when I started this project, I thought that I was going to try tons of different sock patterns and try different types of heels and try all kinds of different things, but I have just stuck with my comfort. My comfort zone is the Susan B. Anderson sock pattern, and I love it. It is so easy. I tailored it just slightly. I use 2.5 millimeter needles, I believe. Yeah. So US size 2, 2.5 millimeter needles. I use their Addy Turbo sock rockets. So I use the magic loop method. I do 72 stitches for my curvy lady calves. I like really tall socks, and I like them not to be very tight, and yeah. So 72 stitches to start for the band, and then I decrease to 68 stitches, and that's what I do for the remainder of the sock. And everything else is basically the exact same, like half the stitches for the heel, and then you pick up and you pick up along the side of the heel, and then you decrease to get that little wedge, and then you Kitchener the toe. It's really fun. I love it. Okay, enough of that. Anyways, so I'm working on those socks, and maybe if I finish those fast enough, I can get back to my Hermione's Everyday socks that I cast on and never finished. Because I want those to be finished, because they're really cute and I want to wear them. I've also got my friend Shannon Cook from Knit Night. She is so very Shannon. I love her on Instagram, and she's an amazing, amazing designer. She had a pattern published in the most recent issue of Pom Pom magazine, Pom Pom Quarterly, which comes from the UK, and it's a knitting magazine with actually a surprising amount of West Coast knitwear designers, people from near Vancouver Island. And this shawl, the Emery shawl, is one, well, let's see if I can hold it nicely. That's kind of wrapped around the body. That's it, kind of around that. It's really, really pretty. And I decided when I went to Edmonton, I was going to stop off at a local yarn shop, which I talked about last episode, to get the yarn to make an earring. So I am pretty much, oops, popped off the needle. That's okay. I'm pretty much at the halfway point. I think mine's turning out a little bit smaller than the actual one. I thought I got gauge, but I also realized that the yarn I'm knitting with, which is Elspeth Lavold Silky Wool, this is not a DK weight. That is more like fingering, maybe heavy fingering, maybe like barely sport. Definitely not what I would call DK, because I guess as I'm learning, I think a DK is closer to a worsted, or like can be like a light worsted, I think is more of a DK. So anyways, well, yeah, but I love it. It's such a beautiful pattern. It is flying by. I'm knitting with my Knit Picks interchangeables. I've got the Harmony, like the rainbowy tips. I can't remember offhand what size needle tip it is, but I love it. I think it's really cute. I think it'll be adorable. I just have to finish it. Yep, I can do that. And it's in my beautiful bag by Julie. Like I said, my friend Julie, Inky077. This is one of her bags. Her bags are Mooncusser bags on Etsy. So mooncusserbags.etsy.com. Yes, that's right, Mooncusser bags. She's so cute. I love her bags. I love her bags. I bought this as a gift and then kept it because I am selfish. Okay, so my camera decided to stop recording partially through. Don't really know what happened, but let's get back on track. I was talking about things that I have on the needles, and I was just sharing with you about the Hana Ho knit along. I got cut off, so I think I'm just going to start with the Hana Ho again, all the way. So the beautiful Mel of the M Ski Knits fame, or Single-Handed Knits podcast, she has a beautiful, beautiful sweater called the Hana Ho. And if you have been watching for a little while, again, here I am repeating myself, I've been working on the Hana Ho sweater. In fact, we actually have the Hana Ho knit along in my Juniper GraceTube Ravelry group. It's my first ever knit along, and we have some great prizes, which I'll share in just a moment. But here, let me share the sweater with you. So I'm working on that, and I really hope that I manage to get it done by the end of July, because that is when the deadline for the knit along is. Well, here it is. You can see it's a beautiful kind of cozy sweater. It's meant to be kind of loose fitting, comfy, like a boyfriend sweater. But it has this incredible copycat pattern stitch detail on the cuffs and the edge of the sweater. So I did a test knit, kind of like a sample knit for Mel of the sweater, and my payment for that was all the yarn to knit the sweater in Space Cadet Creations yarn. I love Space Cadet Creations. So I received the yarn, and it is, here's a little gauge swatch. It is this beautiful kind of bright orangey reddy poppy color. It's called How Dare You. It's in the Lyra, which is the sport weight yarn. And yeah, it's amazing. I love knitting with Space Cadet Creation yarn. It's so soft and squishy and kind of springy, but at the same time, you can tell that it'll hold its ground. It's not going to disintegrate quickly. So I have, this is, I believe, the left front, and this is the right front. And here, ladies and gentlemen, is the difference between blocked and unblocked. So if you ever wonder, and you're knitting stockinette and you feel like, oh my gosh, it's curling, it's terrible, this is the beauty of blocking right here, how it just relaxes and kind of opens up the fabric and gives it a chance to kind of be really nice and a little bit fluffy. And oh, this is upside down. So this is, I put little stitch markers. I don't know if you ever do this. If you do a lot of stockinette stitch, and you know you need to go for a certain number of inches, but if you obtain gauge, then you know how many stitches per inch or how many rows per inch you need, right? So I know that this is 7 rows per inch for the gauge, right, that I've obtained. So I know that if I need like 14 inches, that means I need whatever 14 times 7 is. I'm not doing math right now. I'm an English major, people. Anyways, so what I do is I count as I go, and I have a pin for every 20 rows that I did, and I took one out because I needed an extra up top. And I just kind of go that way. I don't know if you've ever done that. It's like a clever little life hack. I put them in as markers so that I don't have to go back and recount all the way up, because I prefer to do counting. That way I can get perfectly even sides. I don't know if that just makes me, again, like a little OCD or something, but it's just that, and it's kind of fun because then you know when you pick it up and you start knitting. Like whenever I do a project that is like stockinette for a really long time, or I like to do seed stitch scarves for the men in my life, like my husband and my stepdad and my best friend's boyfriend. I'm working on a seed stitch scarf for him, and what I do to keep me motivated and to see how far I've come, I put one of these little, and it's just a little, like, you know, like a safety pin marker, stitch marker. It's like the removable stitch marker. I put one of those where I start and then I knit, and then at the end of whatever time I have knitting, I look down and I go, oh, I did actually knit 2 or 3 inches or 10 inches or whatever. You know, like, it's not like I've just been knitting this forever. And then the same goes, like I said, for this, is kind of keeps me going. And I'll do the same thing up the back. That way I just have an even length. I'm not going to have one wonky extra long side because I didn't lay it out flat properly and measure it properly because I was in a hurry or whatever. So I just count. And then I've got the live stitches at the top on held for the next part. So this is a really fun pattern because it's really basic, but it's got some beautiful little like simple but elegant shaping detail. And then, so it's fun, but it keeps you going. And then it's worked in different pieces. So I've got the 2 fronts done. I need to get the back, the 2 sleeves done, blocked. Then I can't remember what I did. I think I seamed them up first. Or no, I did the cuffs for the sleeves. Then I seamed everything up. Then you do the edging and then the applied collar. So there's still quite a bit of work to do, but we'll see. If I don't finish, that's okay. It's not like I'm allowed to win a prize or anything. My prize is having a done sweater. So speaking of prizes, people, now the group is still open. I don't care. You can join the last day and put up a picture, and you will still be eligible for a prize. I'm super happy with that. If you have a sweater on the go already that you've already started, like the Hanaho sweater, jump in and we'll have fun with that. And let me share the prizes that I have for you guys. So, most amazing people have donated really wonderful things. We have Rista1313 of Girl Cave Bags. Ooh, I love it. She donated a surfing owl project bag, and it is so perfect. It has green chevrons on the inside. These, actually, I think I have like 3 or 4 different, no, 3. I think I have 3 different Girl Cave bags. I want to steal this one, but I won't. And they're seriously some of my favorite project bags to work with because they're just really sturdy. And so like they hold their own, and they've got the little wedge on the bottom, so they sit up really nicely. She's girlcavebags.etsy.com. She puts like really adorable little button on it, and on the button it says girlcavebags.etsy.com. And inside you always get a little freebie of lotion, which is super fun, a Lolo bar. So I'm sending all that to one lucky winner. Then I have a set of stitch markers, bumblebee stitch markers, from Akin Jewels, my friend Asia. They are, I believe, the large stitch markers, so they should work for most projects, but they're really adorable. They're little rings with beads on them. Her stitch markers are like famous in our knit night. Like everybody has at least like 6 sets of her stitch markers. Then Stephanie from Space Cadet Yarns sent us a mini skein bundle. Look at that. Isn't that great? Oh my gosh, one of them is sparkly. This one right here, the kind of purpley variegated one, is sparkly, and the rest, oh, they're just gorgeous. I think they're so sweet. Oh, and they're all different kinds of yarn. There's Esther, there's Oriana. Oh, that's fun. Lucina. So it really is a true sample. Like, you get to play with all the different kinds of Space Cadet yarn. And then one of my sister-in-law, I guess, she is married to my husband's brother. So we've both married into the Cave family. She has an amazingly adorable Etsy shop called Above Par Crafts, and it's above par is, you can see this. So you can see these are these adorable little notebooks that she's made out of different games. So this is Trivial Pursuit, and this one's from Monopoly, and they're just really cute little spiral bound notebooks. We're gonna give those away as well. So that's a pretty good haul for a first knit-along giveaway, don't you think? I think. And so in order to win one of these prizes, you need to finish your sweater. So if you're still working on your sweater and you're running out of steam, or you're having finish-itis or whatever it's called, you can do it. We have 2 more weeks. We can do this, okay? And right now, actually, just as it's her birthday today, it is my sister-in-law Stephanie's birthday, and she gave us a few other presents here to give away. And so I wanted to give you guys, let's just call it the happy birthday giveaway, because it's Stephanie's birthday. We have some crayons that she's made. Sorry. Oh! I did not just drop those. They're perfectly fine, I promise. Oh yeah, they're perfectly fine. There are these beautiful, really fun recycled crayons that she makes. And so here are some stars. And then these are some leaves, and they're not sitting very nicely in their package, but I will fix them for you before I mail them to you. But again, it's Above Par Crafts. And we'll give these guys away. And let's say, I think I even have one more crayon. Oh, I do have one more crayon. Okay, so let's have a crayon giveaway. It's a paintbrush. I love you. I want to keep all of these. You guys are so freaking lucky. Anyways, let's give these away, and let's call it the birthday giveaway. So I will put them up on my Ravelry group, and all you have to do to enter to win those crayons is just tell me one of your favorite memories from a birthday. Why not, right? We'll just keep it simple, keep it easy. So yeah, so join the knit along if you're still in. If you are incredibly ambitious and you think you can actually finish a Hanaho in 2 weeks, and you haven't started yet, then have at her. Like, the more the merrier. I want to hear that story as well. Might just give you a prize just for doing that, if you can. Let's look back. Okay, so we've given away the postcards. We have our new postcard giveaway. We have Happy Birthday, Stephanie. And then if you don't manage to actually win the giveaway, there's a sale on her Etsy shop. So yeah, so you should go and try to do that. You could go buy some crayons right now. She's got a sale on her crayons. That's what I was trying to say. Oh my goodness. Okay, so anyways, I should probably let you go. It's been wonderful. I love you guys. I'm sure that you've finished your delicious beverages, and I'm sure that you've managed to get an awful lot of knitting done. So I hope that you have a wonderful week. It is safe to return to your lives as normal. Thanks for joining me. Happy knitting.